Coach, that was potentially a bit of a difficult watch. Had a bit of a end of season feel about it. Obviously we're safe now, but what was your thoughts on the match as a whole?
Yeah, poor, really poor. Same as yourself, poor to watch. It wasn't enjoyable from our point of view to watch, and I'm sure from supporters who came down today as well didn't enjoy watching that, and certainly the players, you wouldn't imagine enjoyed playing in it either. So no, a really poor day on a poor pitch as well. It's so difficult these last few weeks on the pitch, but we don't want to make excuses for what we served up today. It was poor all over, and like you said, it was really flat right from the start. We never really got going, and yeah, made a few changes as well, which probably maybe fed into that too. But you're always looking to give young lads an opportunity to come in and play. Thought young Ben Wilson came in, done quite well. He particularly in the second half, I thought when he went back to right back, he looked a wee bit more comfortable in there too, and done well in the game. But outside of that, there wasn't really too much to sing about. It was like I say, it was poor all day. It was flat on a poor pitch against a team that was eventually relegated as well today. So it does have one of those end of season feels about it. We talked about that with the players, about protecting against that and guarding against it. But it's difficult. Mentally, the players have, to be fair, for the last 4 months have gone to the well for us every single week and given everything they have to reach our goal, and our goal was to stay in the league. And you could see that we achieved that last Tuesday night there against Portadown. You could see that we hit that goal through their performance today. I think there was certainly a dropping off of the levels, and sometimes that's to be expected, but it's not something we're looking to repeat for the next 3 weeks. We don't want another 3 games of having to watch that as staff. I'm sure the fans don't want another 3 games of having to watch that along with the players. So we need to just dust ourselves down, get back in on Tuesday night or Monday night, and look forward to the next Saturday against Cliftonville on a 4G pitch that will probably be a bit better to play on from the players' point of view. I know myself as a player this time of year back when I played, and it's difficult, and the games become a bit of a lottery, and particularly when there's nothing to play for, it can be difficult. So no, hopefully we'll be able to lift our performances next Saturday.
Obviously you said there about the changes and the different players coming in, and 45 minutes for a few of the guys as well. What do you think we learned from those young fellas coming in there?
Yeah, I think it's about what we have learned, but also about what the players themselves, young James Heaney getting the second half, Ben Wilson coming in as well, and young Paul McGovern getting a start up the top end of the pitch. They'll have taken a lot from it in terms of what it takes to play at this level, and I suppose playing at that level week in, week out. From us, we picked up bits and pieces. Like I said, I thought Ben Wilson done really well in the second half at right back. Right wing back in the first half he played, we had a back 3, and that's a difficult position for even an experienced player to play, in terms of your starting position, when to join in, when to defend. It can be difficult, but he done quite well in the first half, but I thought he looked more comfortable in the second half. Young James Heaney, again, coming in, looks good going forward. Maybe slightly disappointed with the goal in terms of defensively, but he's young, hasn't played a lot. And yeah, it's something we just need to keep working with him on and keep pushing him on. But no, I would imagine for the next few games we'll mix and match if we have to. Albeit we want to put our strong team. We want to get we don't want to lose our last 5 games of the league campaign. Nobody wants to lose any games of football, whether you're playing with your mates in the street or whether you're playing in a Champions League final. You want to win every game you play, and yes, we want to try and get something out of it in terms of picking up bits and pieces of players that we maybe haven't seen a lot of. Looking towards next season, but we also want performances and we want results, and today we didn't get that. We didn't get a good enough performance, and yeah, it'll not be something that we'll accept probably going forward. We don't want to lose games, particularly in the manner we did today.
Do you feel there's a few difficult conversations to be had with some boys in the next few weeks about their performances and that sort of thing?
I think there's always difficult conversations in football, whether you're going well or going bad or whatever the case may be. Suppose looking into summer, again, thankfully I'm only assistant manager, and Paddy has to deal with those real difficult conversations. But no, look, there's always coming the end of the season, players coming out of contract and different bits and pieces going on, and players who maybe haven't been playing and whatever the case may be. And there's always difficult conversations in football. I suppose that's what makes you a good manager, or in any walk of life really. So no, there'll be things happening in the summer in terms of players coming and going. That happens at every football club every year, and it's the natural sort of evolution of every football club. So no, with 3 games to play between now and the end of the season, and then I'm sure you'll maybe start to see some bits and pieces happening. Looking forward to towards next season.
it all starts, as you say, next week away at Cliftonville. We've had a bit of success against them this season. We probably fell slightly short, obviously away in the Irish Cup, that sort of thing, at Solitude. What's your thoughts going for that one?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Cliftonville are obviously a very, very good side. Probably haven't had the league campaign that they've been a bit inconsistent, the league campaign that they would have wanted, but they've already won trophy in the bag, and they're in another Irish Cup final. And on their day, they've been excellent. And when I've seen them this year, the way they play, I was there for a couple of years. The style that they like to play in, and it's always good to watch. And Jim's got them playing, an attractive brand where he plays forward nice and early and gets the ball forward quickly. But so good players. Joe Gormley's on fire. Rory Hale's playing well, and they have an Irish Cup on the horizon. And every single one of those players will want to make sure that that they're taking their suit off on the day and getting into a kit. That's what they'll be playing for at the minute. So big result they had today as well. I think beating Ballymena 5-0. So they've picked up a few results now in recent weeks, really starting to show the form that we all know they're capable of. So no, we're looking forward to it. It's a big challenge. Go up to Solitude. Again, like I say, it's on a 4G pitch, so we know what we're getting when we turn up at the ground. Hopefully we can put in a better level of performance than we did today.